Gentlemen, I am very glad that you came here. Today is the time for the second part of our oil properties experiment, where we will participate together with all these randomly selected people. We are going to take the same oil from our Range Rover that, according to our opinion, is not as good as it was in the package anymore, and try to add their different oil additives. There is going to be one secret additive during the test that I will tell you about later. It's a dark horse, though, but it is definitely capable of passing the test. The test is going to be of a blind method. We will provide only numbers, and each of them will show different results. It is obvious that our oil additives work and cost an amount of money. The question is how exactly they work and whether it corresponds to their prices. Take a look. This is the third sample of oil from Range Rover, and there are still metal particles in it. Moreover, I am sure that there are also small particles we can't see. It is definitely not a mud from the pan. Do you have a magnet? Look, we take the magnet and there is absolutely no reaction from the particles. That means that these are aluminum particles from the cylinder head or cylinder barrel. Again, you can see some particles left on the bottom. It looks more like an oil from worn engine, when tears appear after overheating of the engine. But what we saw in previous cases is not an ordinary situation.
Такой не каждый слесарь видит еще.
Now we are in the laboratory, and there is a friction machine in the next room, where we will test our oil additives. We will start our experiment with the running in of two details: cast iron ring that imitates compression piston ring and chrome pad that imitates cylinder. This friction pair will work on the oil from Range Rover from the beginning of the test. We will continually increase the load until it reaches 50 kilograms. This number caused many arguments, and I partly agree with them. We can't assure that the piston presses upon the cylinder with the 50 kilogram effort. But we are not trying to show you working conditions of your engine, because all of them are different. If we try to compare an ordinary small car engine with a V8 diesel, the conditions will be totally different. We are trying to show you conditions common to different oils, where one oil works and other doesn't. We are not trying to say that these conditions are ethylene, we just want to show the difference between two substances. The friction machine will be running into these 50 kilograms for 1 hour. And when the temperature and moment of friction is stable, we will add 5 different oil additives to this oil. We will name you these oil additives in the end, but now we will be using just numbers. You will see that it is possible to show how different substances reduce friction even in your own garage.
будет очень хорошо бороться с трением. Нам предъявляли, что мотор как бы у вас работает без тосола, да, поэтому масло закипело. Мы можем сделать и масляную ванну.
We can make an oil bath, serve with the cool air, or cool it with the liquid nitrogen, but those will be not real conditions for the engine. Conditions in different engines are totally different. Here you can see an oil bath, but in our case it will be empty. We will put a lubricating gun here. And oil will drop in this tube, then go into the ring, and we will measure different parameters. Friction increased significantly, and temperature is also increasing. So when you increase load abruptly, the friction moment also increases. That's why we are increasing the load step by step. As you can see, friction moment is 0.3 now, and it is practically nothing. Critical point is 0.7, 0.8. The temperature we have got in friction zone is only 60 degrees. It will become stable when temperature reaches 110 or 120 degrees. For a real car, this temperature will be close to the critical point, because an ordinary oil temperature in engine is around 103 to 120 degrees. 150 degrees is a limit for a guarantee. Then we need to come back to the same process, breaking in of the friction pair. We didn't manage to increase the load up to 50 kilograms, because it had already reached critical 150 degrees at 45 kilograms. Diagrams are all the same. Red represents temperature, blue friction moment, turquoise load. We started to mix our oil additives with motor oil from Range Rover, doing it in different dosage according to instruction. Using electronic scales, we achieved proper percentage of each oil additive. We were also using a mixing machine in order to mix oil with additive properly. There is a problem with one of the samples, because it is unclear how to add it to oil. There are some strange particles in this sample. We don't know what are they, and do they need to be dissolved before getting into oil. We will try to mix it.
Размешается ли она вообще? Потому что как это вводить в нашем случае шприцами, вообще не поскольку нам пинцетом 2 гранулы, что ли, кинуть туда в масло.
We are putting this oil additive to stove under 100 degrees and leave it for 1 hour, expecting that particles would dissolve. Now we are proceeding to our experiment. The sample number 1 will be the first to go.
Добавлять в нее отработку, в которую уже добавлены присадки. И первым на очереди, естественно, идет образец номер 1.
After adding this sample, nothing happened. Temperature and friction moment didn't change. At least temperature didn't rise. We can conclude that this sample doesn't work at all. Let's proceed to the second sample. Something unexpected happened here. Temperature and the friction moment increased, but then stabilized. After that, we decided to add oil without additives and watch if the graphics would stabilize. However, the temperature and friction moment before and after using of oil additives stayed the same.
То есть присадка полностью вымывается чистой обработкой.
Here you can see the results of the third sample. If we compare it with the results of a clean oil with a 50 kilograms load, we will see that the friction moment was 0.45 and temperature was 89 degrees.
Но, к сожалению, значений по температуре нам пока таких добиться не удается. Температура на чистом масле в этот момент при такой нагрузке тогда была 89 градусов.
Now we have got 136 degrees and it is gradually decreasing. To be honest, I don't believe that the temperature will decrease down to 89 degrees. It's more likely to me that it will stay at 130 to 125 degrees. What is more important is that both sample number 1 and sample number 2 showed negative results. The second one is really strange. Here you can see that at the beginning the friction moment dropped down to 0.43 and then stabilized at 0.45. Maybe it is because of the temperature. Anyway, this substance is interesting. Now we will try to achieve stable parameters on clean oil and then we will proceed to another samples. Take a look at these examples. People are right when they say that oil additives don't work at all. Only one oil additive haven't shown any results yet. You cannot tell that this oil additive doesn't work. It works, but not as it's supposed to.
Вот что присадка ничего не делает. Это называется, знаешь как, корректно зашла. Элегантно, мягко так. Интимно даже, я бы сказал, зашла. Ты даже не почувствовал, как и минус 1300. Да, и все. И тебе хорошо. Значит, уже так, прямо уже так. И провернули прямо так.
Now it is time to take the sample number 4 from our stove. Let's see what happened with those particles. It looks like fruit drink. You can drink it. We can see in our graphics that again clean oil washes out all signs of additive. Thus, if producers tell you that their additives work even after you change oil, don't believe them. Then we change our oil to the sample number 4 and surprised by its results.
И в этом месте мы все очень сильно удивляемся.
Temperature is rising fast, and we are afraid of blocking.
Давай, отработочку. Отработочку. У нас очень драматично. Да, кстати, что-то неожиданно. С кастролом была тоска.
After adding the sample number 4, something terrible happened. The friction moment increased up to 0.9 and temperature rose up to unbelievable 190 degrees. After injecting some clean oil, all parameters stabilized. After the temperature went down to 160 and friction moment was 0.6, we added by far the most interesting sample number 5.
I
think it's too slow. Wait, the sample started working. The temperature decreased. This one will definitely tear up others. It has already, compared with the sample number 2, where the friction moment was 0.43. We had a friction moment 0.45 while testing clean oil castrol. Now we have 0.36 and it is still decreasing.
Сейчас у нас отработка, смешанная с нашей присадкой. Момент трения и продолжает падать. Он сейчас до единички, до 0,1 сейчас упадет.
Does anybody have any forecasts of how low the results will be? Will it be 0.25? A new oil has a friction moment 0.3 with 20 kilograms load. 20.
Да, и так она и будет стихийно падать сейчас. Конечно, если трения нет, так куда? Да, то есть обратите внимание,
Now
мы
we are
сейчас вам
showing you how
показываем
it is
ту вещь,
possible to reduce friction
которой вы можете
significantly.
убрать трение
All the
очень
previous
существенно.
additives are
Все
nothing
эти присадки,
comparing
вот
with
это
this
все
one.
ничто.
So,
Если
if
у
you
вас
want
есть
to reduce
задача
friction,
победить трение,
just add
даже в
this
присутствии,
additive.
когда в присутствии
Shall we
кого
try to
угодно,
mix
вы
it with
просто
water?
вводите эту
Will it reach
суперприсадку в ваше
0.2?
вещество,
No.
неважно вообще
Does
какое. Можно
anybody
попытаться с
have
водой
any
все
doubts
замешать.
that this additive works?
И будет
This
просто
technology
потрясающе.
really
Ну
exists.
0,2-то возьмем, интересно. Да какая, ну вот у кого-то еще есть сомнение, что эта технология существует. Но это фантастика.
That is
У нас впервые
fantastic.
графики
Our
поменялись
graphics
местами. То есть у
changed.
нас полка
The line with
нагрузки,
loads is
она
higher than
оказалась
the line
выше,
with
чем
the
полка
friction
трения.
moment.
Я думаю, что и температура, если так
I
оставить на час, и
suppose
температура
that
там
if we
до
leave it
30
for 1
упадет,
hour,
до
the
комнатной
temperature will
вообще
decrease
всё.
down to 30 degrees, to the room
18.
temperature.
Это
0.18.
ненормально.
This
да.
is
Надо
abnormal.
догрев, значит, вибаста попутно мало.
Yes, it is. The
Да,
technology
технология
exists.
существует. Итак,
Of
всем нам,
course,
безусловно,
all of
было
us are
очень
eager to
интересно, под
know
каким же номером
which
что
additives were
скрывается.
hidden under
Честно
the
говоря, я
numbers.
сам провел
To be
сегодняшний день
honest,
в
the whole
потрясающем
day was
напряжении,
really
потому что до
exciting for
конца
me,
не знал,
because
кто
I
себя
didn't
как
know
поведет,
how
и
each sample would
результаты
perform.
очень
The
неожиданные.
results
Я вам
are
сразу хочу сказать,
unexpected.
если ты
If you
перемотал на
speeded
эту
up the
минуту,
video
сразу
to this
пропустив вот
minute,
всё
you
то,
need to
ты
turn back
должен
and see it
пересмотреть это
again.
видео еще раз,
Let's
поверь
see.
мне. Так вот, наш номер один. То, что мы испытывали, это очень
Number
известный
one is the
экспонат,
very popular
всеми
oil
вами
additive
любимый
Suprotec
Suprotec.
Active Plus.
Этот
The
Suprotec в нашем
producer
случае
recommends this
называется
for
Active
diesel
Plus. Он
engine
для
with
двигателей
the
с
run more
пробегом
than
более 50 тысяч
50,000
километров, и он
kilometers,
дизельный,
because
потому
oil
что
was
масло у
also
нас
taken
также
from a
бралось с
diesel
дизельного
engine.
двигателя.
You can
Результаты
see
его
the
вы
results
сейчас
on the
видите на
screen.
экране.
Number two is Bardahl,
Номер два — это
and I was
присадка
asked not to
Bardahl.
tell which one
Какая
exactly
именно,
it is.
ребята
You
из
can find this
Esoteric Club
information on their
просили не
website.
говорить. Какая это именно была присадка, вы можете узнать лично у них на сайте. Таков был уговор. Присадочка номер
Number 3
3.
is an oil
Присадочка
additive
эта называется
iMagnet
iMagnet
P14,
P14 от
produced by
компании
VMP
VMP
Auto.
Auto в
We
лаборатории,
are
которой
fulfilling
мы,
our
собственно,
test
все эти
in their
испытания и
laboratory.
производим. Если
If
кто-то
somebody
из вас
thinks that this is
считает,
an
что
ad,
это
you can
реклама,
contact me.
вы можете
You can
выйти
also
на связь
easily
со мной,
find
меня
me in
легко найти
contact.
ВКонтакте. Если
If
вы
you are a
представитель какой-либо
representative
присадки,
of
вы
an oil
можете
additives
лично к нам
producer,
приехать, вы можете
you can
лично
personally come
участвовать в
here
нашем
and we will
тесте.
compare
Вы
your
привезете
additives
свой
with
продукт, и мы
iMagnet.
можем сравнить
I am
его
not
с этой
trying to
присадкой.
say that this
Я
oil
сейчас ни в
additive
коем
is
случае не
good,
говорю, что она
as well as
хорошая.
I'm
Я
not
не
trying to
говорю, что
say
это
that this is a
революция. Нет.
revolution.
Это
I'm
единственная
just saying
присадка,
that
которая
this is
показала
the
на
only oil
сегодняшнем
additive
тесте
that has shown
положительную
positive
динамику.
results
Если у
during
вас
our
есть что ей
test.
противопоставить,
If you have
пишите
an
мне,
oil additive to
приезжайте,
compare,
делайте
please
какой
write to me.
угодно контроль,
We
и мы
will come here
протестируем
and
её
make
вместе с вами. Я
independent
говорю
tests
сейчас
together
совершенно
with you.
серьезно. Присадка номер 4.
Number
Присадка
4 is
номер
perhaps
4 это,
one of the
пожалуй,
most
один из
famous oil
наиболее
additives
раскрученных
on the
брендов на
market today.
сегодняшний день на рынке.
This is HADO
Это
Stage
HADO,
1,
так
an
называемый
atomic
Stage
metal
1.
conditioner. It
Атомарный
showed the worst
кондиционер
results in
металла.
the test.
Он, кстати, на
We
сегодняшнем
decided to
тесте
stop it
показал
before any
худшую
moment of
динамику. Мы даже
stability
прервали тест,
because
мы
the
не
oil
смогли
temperature
дождаться
was
того
around
момента, когда он выйдет в
190
состояние
degrees.
какой-то
We
стабильности,
decided to
потому что
stop the
температура
experiment
масла
to
уже
avoid
шкалила
blocking and
практически
change to
190,
a
он
clean
начинал
oil.
кипеть. Чтобы не схватить клин, мы срочно вмешались в эксперимент и добавили обычную пустую отработку, слитую с этого двигателя. И самое интересное,
And the most
это
interesting
пустая
is the
бирочка,
last
у меня даже
sample.
ее не осталось.
This is a cosmic
Это та баночка,
technology
на
that
которой
could
не было
eliminate
написано
friction.
ничего.
The best
Это
results we had
космическая
were
технология, которую мы
0.18
сегодня
and
вам
oil
показали,
temperature
которая
decreased
способна
to less
победить
than
трение
100
полностью.
degrees.
Практически увести его в 0,18 лучший результат у нас был, а температура масла опустилась на ниже сотни, то есть 99. При той же нагрузке
At the
чистому
same
маслу из
loads,
банки удалось
new
выбиться
oil
при
showed
коэффициенте
friction
трения
moment
0,45. То есть мы
0.45.
более
That
чем в
means
2 с
that
лишним
we
раза
managed to
смогли
halve
этой
the friction
присадкой
moment.
понизить коэффициент трения. Кто считает, что это?
What do you
По
think?
вашему мнению, самые
What is it?
смелые догадки. Что это? Что это за вещество?
At this moment we should have shown you what it was, but the technology was so difficult and so easy at the same time, so we decided to make another video. We will tell you how it is possible to reduce friction in your car, increase its power and efficiency. To sum it up, we will show you the cost of this improvement. I am also planning to make other videos about oil additives to show how some oil additives with well-known names do not work at all, just make you believe their promises. And we will demonstrate the results with real facts and figures.
А мы с вами с сухими цифрами
И с сухими показаниями, не делая никаких выводов, эту самую религию разрушим. Что довольно тенденциозно, согласитесь.
It is also possible that a series of shows will arise soon, trying to bring us to light, but we will show you everything ourselves, explain our aims and reasons.
Но мы сами раскроем вам карты. Мы расскажем, что нами движет, какие цели мы преследуем и зачем мы это делаем. Это очень частый вопрос. И поверьте,
The conclusions that you will hear would probably make you change your opinion about the modern automobile market. We will show what happens with that Range Rover.
С тем самым долбанным Range Rover'ом и почему он до сих пор ездит на том же самом масле. Ничего не меняется, и это кажется нормальным, да? Это сумасшедшая вещь. Все увидите в следующих видео и будет.
And I suppose that we will make some videos to explain how oils are dying. We will not compare oils and tell you just marketing slogans. We will show you what happens with oil after 5,000 kilometers run, which oil still performs well and which loses its properties, as our Castrol, when HTHS dropped down to 2.3 after 3,000 kilometers run. That is much lower than minimum 2.9 according to its characteristics. Follow our videos, keep your mind clear and do not believe anybody. Good luck.
Пока.